Hi, I'm Morris from FindleyTV, and today I'm going to be interviewing Jim Findley, who was in Doctor Who Resurrection of the Daleks, some 30 years ago now.
We made it in 1983, round about now actually, November, December.
Okay, and it says here that it was released between the 8th and 15th of February in 1984.
Yeah, that's right, that'd be about right, yeah.
So I've asked in the internet communities for Doctor Who, and I've got some questions. So we'll start off with the very basics.
Yeah.
Canto, that's their name from Reddit, asks, who's your favourite Doctor?
I've been asked this quite a few times before, and you always want to say, they're all good and they're all that, but when I came to England, the first Doctor I saw was Patrick Troughton. So he's my Doctor. People always talk of their own Doctor.
Yeah.
So it's got to be Patrick Troughton. But my favourite Doctor in terms of just being... I really like Peter Davison, and working with him.
Charlie Walsh asks, which Doctors have you met and what were they like in person?
I've only met Peter actually, from working on that.
What was he like to work with? What?
Absolutely brilliant. Found out during filming. Although I was born in Trinidad, grew up there. When I came to London, I grew up in Tooting, and Peter, I think, comes from Streatham. He certainly comes from just up the road. So, kind of have that in common. And he's a really good pro, really nice to work with. Absolutely relaxed style. You don't even know he's acting. It's great. It's really good.
Kitty's Rule So Much, that's her name, says...
That's brilliant.
Asks, do you have any interesting stories from when you were filming Doctor Who?
Yeah, the Daleks really. I've got loads, but anyone who knows me will know I always have stories. But when I went in, we filmed at Acton. Used to be known to actors and us in our community as the Acton Graveyard, and it's this massive BBC room building. And when I went in, it's a really big room. I mean, sort of warehouse kind of place. And the Daleks were over in the corner. And I went in on my own at 9 o'clock in the morning with my pastry and my cup of tea, and I saw them and my stomach went. They still scared me. That
leads quite well into the next question, because Charles Denny asked, how do the Daleks work and how do they move around?
How do they work? Well, nowadays they're probably some kind of brilliant engine, but in those days they had guys who sat in them. And what was brilliant was when we shot that in 83, 30 years ago, as you say, 3 of the guys who'd been doing it in the 60s were still there. And we met them, and they climbed in and moved them. Yeah, and then they put the lid on, obviously. And they're scary, and they're big.
Yeah.
They are big, It doesn't matter about hiding behind a sofa, because they'll get you.
The TARDIS, Charlie Walsh wants to know if it's really bigger on the inside.
Yeah, corny, but we always say it's so big, it's almost like you're in a film studio. But it is big in the sense that, obviously when you see it, you go in and then you go, wow. But it's the control panel and all that, though. It's just amazing. There's loads of buttons and loads of things. It's great.
Canto, again, wants to know if you would go back on the show if you got the chance.
Yeah, I'd love to. I don't know how they do it. I mean, I guess there's someone else, but because Mercer was killed off, would love to. I really, really like Matt Smith. I think he's been a brilliant Doctor. I know it was a hard act to follow, but I think he's just brilliant. Obviously, I like Tennant. I think they've all been good. It's a hard job. I like Capaldi as an actor. I like his work, so... every time it comes up, I can name at least 5 people I think should be the Doctor. It's always actors I've worked with who I think have the quirkiness. So, I don't know Capaldi. So, yeah, good choice, I think.
Just as a final question, I think lots of people would like to know, do you still watch Doctor Who?
Yeah.
And are you going to be watching it tonight, and what do you think it's going to be like?
I'll be watching it tonight with my littlest one, because one of them, who's here now, is out watching it in the cinema. All of my children watch it. They not only watch it, they buy them and collect them, and they watch them again and again. And even when I'm not watching them, I am, because I'm walking in and out of the room and they're on. I've been watching some old ones actually. Oh, and the programme. Those of you who haven't seen it, the BBC programme they just made about William Hartnell and Verity Lambert. See it.
Journey Through Time and Space.
That's it. Yeah, it really, really good. I don't know how accurate it was, but you know, Bradley, who's playing Hartnell, is a brilliant actor. I went up to him once and said, I think you're amazing. Before he was in Harry Potter. Please try and see that. It's really good.
Okay, so yeah, that's all the questions. Make sure you watch it tonight. It's on at 7:30 in the cinemas. I think it's the same time on BBC One.
Yeah.
So yeah, watch that and happy birthday, Doctor Who.